What were you saying? You were saying that girls always know when you're lying?
Yeah, I told you that if a woman asks you a question, we
Mhm.
already probably know the answer.
Oh,
So the best thing is not to lie.
okay. Like the
Yeah.
police. Like the police.
I heard that, yeah, or I read it somewhere, probably on the gram somewhere, like the women are like the police.
Mm-hmm.
They have all the evidence, but they still need the confession.
Ah, yes,
I
yes,
can
yes.
relate. I
Really,
think it's
really.
true.
How
Yeah.
and how like so it's not like you can tell when you're it's not like you know when the person is lying. You just you are well you know when the person is lying and then you're just trying to get the confirmation. It's not that you can just tell when the person is lying. Like they say something and then you're like, you know?
I can tell. For me personally, I can tell when a person is lying.
Mhm.
I'm like pretty good at reading like this micro facial expressions.
Mm.
But I also think this is something that you can, like learn.
Yeah.
And if you nurture, you get very, very good at it.
Yeah.
But I think that women as a group, we have this better. You guys, you call it intuition. I think yes, some of it's really like intuition,
Mm.
especially with your partner.
Mm.
Like if you are very connected to this person, I think you know when they're lying. I also think for the guys that, I mean, they should be able to know when the person they're in a relationship with is not being honest.
Mhm.
But I think that women as a group, we have this maybe a little bit better defined. I don't know if it's like, something um, from like past or I never really looked up or dealt with like why, but
Mhm.
I think that women do have this much better developed than men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, and is this this does this go for in relationships? I mean, is it part of it that you know the person that you can know when they're lying, or do you think you can tell when any person is lying?
For me, if I'm very like observant, but I have to put myself in that mode
Mm,
to read the person's body language, then I can pick up on certain things.
mm,
I think it's better when you are with this person a lot because then, of course, every time we interact, you kind of like your brain, I think, clicks save on certain instances of time
mm,
when then later on can help you kind of like determine what is happening with this person.
right.
Like, I'm sure you know this also with your friends. Like, when your friend is down, they don't need to shout and scream and tell you that they're not okay.
Mm,
You know this.
mm,
And you've learned this throughout time, through all these different interactions, through everything that's happened that you guys shared by just being there and observing their behavior. I think you know.
right.
Um, for me, because I was trained in that
Mhm.
field,
Mhm.
um, it is part of like the conversation that you have with the person where you have to be, first of all, I have to be in the mode to do that. So
Mhm.
I have to be in a very good state. And if I'm in a good state, and if I put myself in the observer state, then I can pick up during the conversation certain things. And this is what helps me guide the conversation so I
Okay.
can help the person.
Mm,
Yeah. So I think it depends from people to people, but I think as a group, women have this defined a little bit better than guys. I think this is also something you can learn. And I think for sure, when you are in a relationship with somebody, then of course we know.
mm. So then the question becomes, why, if you know something, right? Why would you? Because I've been thinking about this.
Okay.
What is the point of putting someone in the position to lie?
Putting in the position to like, oh, like mean you like asking a question?
Yeah, just like you said. I mean, obviously, if you're being the police in the situation, right? Then you're trying to catch them in a lie in order to do what?
I don't know. Like for example, with for myself,
Hmm.
it's more like like all of my friends, they joke and tell me that like I'm a witch, right?
Mhm.
Because I know these things a lot and I feel them, I sense them.
Mhm.
And this is more in the relationships, this is more of a curse than a blessing
Mhm.
because you know already something's up
Mhm.
and you're not very like maybe you're not in a place to deal with that or you're disappointed. A lot of times I would ask because I'm like praying now this is the time when I'm not right.
Mm.
You know, for me this is like maybe I'm wrong.
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe something magical will happen and
Mhm.
then maybe I got it wrong, you know. It doesn't really work out like that
Okay.
usually. But I also think, you know, if you're basing a relationship with somebody, one of the pillars of that relationship should always be honesty. So if I feel like something is up, I also feel I have a right to ask so that you tell me either confirm or kind of like we agree that I was wrong with how I felt about certain things.
Mhm.
Because then otherwise I think you kind of like you're putting me in a spot where it's not very cool to be. And I
Yeah.
understand that this is not always very cool for you guys on the other end.
There's no you guys. You
No, no, no. The
don't put
other
me in this.
person. No, no, no. I'm
Okay.
not. I don't think
Okay.
men. I
Okay.
think the person on the other end.
Mhm.
So like, if I also feel something is up with my girlfriend, or maybe you know there's something that bothers her about me,
Yes.
maybe she's not really ready to talk about this. But if my feeling is like super,
This is my point. I'm talking about the approach that you take. This
but it's
is
not a police approach.
well, you just said you ask the person the question, you know the answer, and you looking for the conviction. This is you looking for like I'm saying if you know something is up, why ask it in a because obviously, right? If the person knows that I'm assuming it's something they're going to lie about something that they feel is you're not going to be happy to know, right? And so to me this is like entrapment.
Come on,
This is
how?
entrapment because oh, maybe not entrapment, but like this is like in I would feel like you could say to the person, "Hey, I I need a scenario, but like what does someone lie to you about?"
Okay. Um, no, let me ask you a question because I also think like your question is like, why would I ask? Maybe the other
No,
person is not ready.
no, I'm not
Then
saying that why you should that you shouldn't ask
no,
or
no,
why
no.
you
But
would
like,
ask.
okay. But my other question is like, okay, what would be like an okay time limit in which I would live with the fact that I know something is up,
Hmm.
but I'm still giving the time and the
What's something
benefit of
up?
the doubt.
What's something up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? Like, I don't know, like you're cheating. Like your partner is cheating.
Okay.
Or your friend, I don't know, she took offense to something that you said and now she's acting very strange, but she's
Hmm.
not communicating this. And then like what would be like because this is something that I deal with a lot because once I sense something is not really right,
Hmm.
I still haven't found the right balance between telling them immediately
Hmm.
and letting and giving them the chance to tell me
Hmm.
this is my issue. I know this
Hmm.
because I go into confrontation mode because this is how I keep myself safe, I
Hmm.
think.
Hmm.
But I understand that there's some things that are very difficult to communicate. We're not all the same. Sometimes people take longer, but if I'm with someone for a long period of time, so we're in a relationship,
Hmm.
they decide to step out of that relationship,
Hmm.
and I can sense that this is happening.
Hmm.
How long till I raise that question?
Hmm.
Like for
Okay.
me, that should have been immediately.
Hmm. What you mean? What would be immediately?
As soon as I sense something is not right,
How's he know when you send something isn't right?
because I usually tell them.
Okay, so okay,
But I
this.
really do ask.
Mhm,
I'm not like a police or anything. Okay, for example,
mhm.
one guy that I dated, we were not
Uh-oh.
uh,
You're not
we
exclusive?
were going out for a while. No, 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 we were not.
Mhm,
But this is what happened, right? So one day we went out, and I kind of got the feeling that he liked one of my acquaintances.
mhm,
And I asked him about this. Like,
mhm.
I knew at that time that he was also seeing other girls. I was dating also.